What is up, YouTube? Ultimate here, and today we're going to be going over the Time Warner Cable / Spectrum Wi-Fi scam. So, if you don't know what Spectrum is Brighthouse Networks. They've changed their name, and up north, Brighthouse Networks is called Time Warner Cable, or maybe it's just that Time Warner Cable down in the south is called Brighthouse Networks. Either way, they're essentially the same company. Well, when they decided to make the change in name from Brighthouse to Spectrum, they brought a lot of Time Warner Cable's policies with them. One of those policies was that, essentially, the modem is free. So if you're wanting to get, like, basically internet, you get a free modem, and you don't have to pay any rental fee. But if you're wanting to have internet or Wi-Fi on that modem, you have to pay a $5 a month monthly fee. Now, to rent a modem from them, it used to be $4. To have Wi-Fi, it's $5, which is absolutely ridiculous considering Wi-Fi should be free on the modems. Like, they're literally putting in code to disable your Wi-Fi if you haven't paid for it. So it's absolutely horrendous that they're actually doing this, but they figure it's another way to nickel and dime you, and it's really, really shitty policy. But they're legally allowed to do so because it's their property. So I went off and got a promotional flyer talking about all the new bundles and stuff for Spectrum. And since I was a Brighthouse Networks, a part of Brighthouse Networks, I essentially am still a Brighthouse Networks / Spectrum customer. So I went, called them up, and was like, what do you got for bundles? Because right now, currently, I have 300 download and 20 upload, and I don't need that. I, at first, only had 110 download and, what was it, like 7 upload, and over the course of a few years, that eventually got to 300 download and 20 upload because I had the highest package they offered. So whenever they got into better upload speeds and everything, I got upgraded to that. Well, they have a 100 download and 10 upload package for $60 a month, which I was like, that's really good, and that's what I actually need, because I'm mainly getting the entire internet package for the upload speeds, because the download speeds, if it was like 50 download, I would be absolutely fine with that. I don't need 200, 300 download. I need higher upload, if anything. So if I could actually change that, that'd be awesome, but they don't do that. So I went off, said, okay, what do I need to do? And they're like, well, your modem right here is not coded for Spectrum packages, so it's going to be $150 to send a technician to install a new modem. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I have a customer-owned SGB 6580 Motorola modem, and they're like, yeah, that's approved modem, so that will work. Do you have everything set up yet? I'm like, no, I don't have everything set up. I need to find the power cord for it, so I'll call you guys right back. So I went off, got the power cord for it, everything, hooked it up, everything was set. Called them up, got the modem installed, and they're like, why are you switching from this modem right here to the SGB 6580? And I was like, because I got told that this modem right here was not coded for any Spectrum packages. And the technician was like, that person was wrong. This is Brighthouse. This is a Brighthouse modem, and there's no difference between the two. So this can completely work with Spectrum, or any Spectrum package. I was like, oh. Okay, so let's just use that modem because this one's very consistent. So I was like, okay. So I went off, set this modem all up and everything, and they're like, would you like Wi-Fi with that? And I'm like, what? And they're like, Wi-Fi, would you like that added? I'm like, sure. I'm like, okay, it's going to be $5 reoccurring fee every single month. I'm like, no, I don't. That's absolute bullshit. It's 2017. You shouldn't be having to pay for Wi-Fi. That is retarded. And the technician kind of got really quiet and was like, so I'm like, yeah, I wanna switch to my customer-owned modem again. And they're like, okay, I understand. I should have probably mentioned that beforehand. I'm like, yeah, because essentially the reason why I switched back from the customer-owned modem back to this one is because, one, I'd have to go off and go to a Brighthouse Networks place / Spectrum and drop this modem off, which would be kind of annoying because there's not one really close to me. So I was like, oh, if I could just switch back to that one, then I can use that and I can just, I don't know, put that back in the drawer where it came from. So we go off and switch to my personal modem, okay? Get everything set up. It's working. It's going online. Can surf. I got the download speed. I got the upload speed. Everything's fine with it. About an hour later, I go to set up the computer in the other room and everything, and I'm like, oh, crap. I got to set up the Wi-Fi on the my modem. So I go to turn on the Wi-Fi, log into the modem, and Wi-Fi is disabled. I'm like, what? So I go click to enable, and I can't click it. I can't click enable on my own damn modem. So eventually I found out that Brighthouse sent a codec and took control of the modem and basically download the same files they downloaded onto these modems, right? Because these are really Arius, and the one I have is an Arius modem too, because it's Motorola owned by Arius or whatever it is. Essentially, Brighthouse and Spectrum both use my modem as well because it's a very popular modem. So they go off and they change the files to it, and they turned off the Wi-Fi on my modem. So I can't get Wi-Fi on my modem anymore. So I had to call them up, and I was like, yo, you guys turned off my Wi-Fi. I need that shit fixed. And they're going up and down saying, oh, no, we didn't do it. Talk to a level 3 technician and everything. They're like, yeah, your modem, everything's compatible. There's nothing wrong with it. But we don't know what happened. Clearly, it's on your end. And I can't even I can't even submit a support ticket for your modem because this is a customer-owned modem and there's not even a field for that. So if you get your modem fixed, call us back, reset it up. If there is another issue, then we'll go off and fix it. Otherwise, we can't really do anything. And again, this is a customer-owned modem, so we don't know what's wrong with it. So just call us back when it's fixed. I'm like, oh, well, that's really nice. I have to go and fix my own property, then call you guys back up after I get it fixed so you guys can break it. So what do? We switch back to this, right? And I got my modem back, and within about like 2 to 3 hours, I ended up getting it to where I double formatted it, and then I had to log in and format it again. And I was able to basically go off and use my Wi-Fi. I was able to connect it to any of my devices. I was able to connect it to my phone and everything. Of course, it doesn't have any internet streaming through it, so it's not really worth anything. But I was able to connect it to stuff. So in the next clip, we're going to be showing you guys that we can enable and disable the Wi-Fi at will. And once we connect it to Brighthouse Network / Spectrum, we are no longer given that option. It'll stay grayed and disable, and we won't even be able to click enable. So this is the entire problem that we're having. There we go. Motorola. So basically, all the default passwords on the SGB6580 is admin Motorola, and we're going to go to wireless, primary network settings, enable, disable. See here, guys? We can change it. We can. Now, let's get to the fun part. We're going to call Brighthouse.
Thanks for calling. My name is Tom. How can I help you?
Hi, we're wanting to switch from a Brighthouse modem / Spectrum modem to a customer-owned modem.
Okay, not a problem. And do you ever have your own modem?
Yes, we have our own modem. It's an Motorola SGB6580.
All right, thank you for that. Give me one second. All right, and your name, please?
Alan.
All right, and what was the brand of the modem again?
The what?
Motorola. What was the model?
Motorola SGB6580. Or SBG6580.
6580. And what about the MAC address?
The MAC address is E.
All right, can you hold 1 second?
Sure.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so they went in and got the modem and they added it for you.
All right.
Give me a second.
Right. One second.
All right.
Okay, so right now, we added the Motorola SGB6580 to the network, right?
Right.
Why am I unable to set up my wireless network? I was just able to my wireless primary network settings.
I understand. So give me a second.
All right.
You still won't let you add the Wi-Fi there?
What do I have to add?
You don't see the network? Your Wi-Fi network?
No. Like, I'm in my modem settings right now because this is a customer-owned modem, and I log in and everything. And I did this beforehand, right? Because I knew that this problem might actually occur. And I logged in, I went to my wireless settings before I made this phone call, and I was able to change the wireless network from enabled to disabled, my choosing. I go and set up this modem onto Brighthouse, gave you everything, and restarted the modem, and now the wireless network is disabled, and I'm unable to turn on my Wi-Fi.
Okay. All right, let me get you over to that department there. I'm gonna transfer over to that department and speak to one of those, because this is actually a TV repair, okay?
All right.
Thank you for calling. My name is Andre, Tier 3 Tech Support. How may I assist you today?
Hi. I went off and just set up my modem for the second time today. The first time I went off and set it up, I checked to make sure my wireless network would work and everything. And I called up Brighthouse. I had them set up my modem. We switched from an Arius modem, the ones that was provided from Brighthouse, to a customer-owned SGB 6580 modem. Surfboard. Went off and switched from it. And I checked to make sure the Wi-Fi and everything worked. And I went off, had everything working for a while, except for the Wi-Fi, of course, and noticed about an hour later that my Wi-Fi was not enabled. So I went to log into the modem, got in fine, went to my wireless settings, and the wireless network option was disabled. It just, I couldn't, it was grayed out, and I couldn't click on the enable. So I talked to a senior technician, and they told me that they don't know what the problem was, and that it could potentially be with my modem. And I was like, I tested this, everything worked beforehand, there wasn't a problem. They're like, well, there isn't anything that we can see on our end, and since this is a customer-owned modem, we cannot, there's not a support ticket field for this. So if you can get the modem fixed and everything and get back to where the wireless network works, then call us back, redo it, and see if the same thing occurs, and if it does, we'll try to fix it. So I just talked to a person there. I ended up getting it fixed. Had to do a factory reset twice and then do it in the actual website version. Okay, because just holding it in the back for 30 seconds would not remove it.
Not gonna work.
Right. So I had to go with factory reset twice, and then I got to where if I had the coax cable unplugged and everything, it worked fine. And then when I plugged in the coax cable again, it wasn't set up for Brighthouse anymore because we switched the thing. So I was able to use it as a wireless network. I had it enabled and everything. I could choose between enabling and disabling. I just called up, I set it up again, and the second the modem popped online, it's doing the exact same thing. I go to my wireless settings, and it's disabled. So clearly, this is not a modem issue. When I take off the modem, I factory reset it, and it works fine.
Okay. Alright. But it for some reason it just keeps going back to Wi-Fi out, correct?
It just says that the wireless network is disabled. So every
time you enable it, it goes back to.
I can't enable it. I can't click it. It's literally grayed out. When I remove it from Brighthouse and I do a factory reset, I can click it, keep it enabled. I can even hook up a device to it without a problem.
But once you click on it, it's doing that. Oh.
Yeah?
No, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm like 95% sure I know what the issue is.
I just want to make sure we're on the same move. What do you think it is?
Well, Brighthouse charges for Wi-Fi.
Right.
And they put that code or codec or whatever they did on the modem. And it makes it where it disables it where you can't go off and do that. Because it thinks it's a Brighthouse modem. Or a Comcast or Time Warner modem.
Yep, you and I are thinking on the same page.
Because that's pretty much impossible for it to work perfectly fine and then not work.
Yeah, and I think because of the code that has to be put on the modem in order for you to be on our service is embedded within the code that has to be put in there. So it keeps doing that. So the thing is, how can we add it on without it charging you? Let me just reach out real quick.
Alright.
Alright, you can go ahead and do the factory reset on the modem right now. We've changed up the codes a little bit, so it should stick this time.
Alright. Let me go do that.
You were able to factory reset it?
Yeah, I factory reset it, but okay, that's really not good. Okay. Scared the crap out of me. It's not okay. It's powering on for like 1 second and then immediately turning off.
That's fine, cause it's probably getting a new code.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just let it come back on its own. They're probably still applying a new code to it. Alright, so yeah, just give it until later on. Give it another hour or so, and if everything, what you can do to find out if it's really working, all you have to do is just reset it again, and if it comes back and has the same problem, then you know it has not been resolved.
Alright.
Alright?
Alright, thank you.
But in the meantime, I have made them aware, and I'm also notating your account, so we'll see how it goes from there, alright, my man?
Alright, thank you.
Alright, you're welcome.
Alright, so as you saw from the previous clip, I talked to their technician, I explained what I thought the problem was. He agreed that that most likely was the problem because when you're adding on a modem to Brighthouse Spectrum, they're going to send their own boot file. Once the boot file is set onto the modem, it's going to be going by their parameters, which if I'm not paying for Wi-Fi, they're going to disable the Wi-Fi because they think that this is a Brighthouse / Spectrum modem. So they tried to do a workaround, and the workaround ended up looking like this. And when in CMD, my IP address was tunneled through something along the ways. I don't know what they're doing. This is kind of above my understanding, but essentially what it was the default gateway was changed, and my IP4 address was changed, which I don't know if that means anything, but either way, my default gateway was changed. If my default gateway is changed in any way, shape, or form, I can't log into my modem. That's a pretty big problem. I can't even log into my modem anymore. So I had to call Brighthouse about I want to say an hour and 20 minutes later, because I was like, okay, I'm done waiting. Obviously, this issue has not been fixed. I know the guy that I was talking to wasn't trying to screw me over or anything, but he at least tried, and it did fail. So I have to call up and see if I can get another technician. This was the person that I got.
Thank you for calling. My name is Aya. How may I help you today?
Hi, I need to talk to the technical department because my modem is no longer working. Or it's working, but I can't log into it because of what the technician did.
Oh, no. Well, I'm so sorry to hear of that issue with your service. Glad you called in, though. It would be my pleasure to help you with it today. To start, may I please have the phone number associated with your account or your account number so I can pull you up here? Okay. And so you said, it's not allowing you to connect, or what exactly is happening there?
I talked to a technician because Brighthouse's codec is screwing up because I'm using a customer-owned modem, and they've disabled my Wi-Fi on my personal modem, which is a problem, obviously. And since they're doing that, a technician tried to go off and fix it, and now they've made it to where I can't even log into my modem, and my internet's getting tunneled through whatever channels they have. So I can't log into it. I have internet connection, but I can't log into my modem.
Okay. Well, I'm so sorry for that. And normally, if it was our modem, I'd say, hey, well, we don't have you signed up for wireless, but that's because it's through yours, so that shouldn't matter. So I'm a little stumped here at what we need to do to fix this for you. Is it okay if I put you on a very brief hold here? I'm just going to check some resources for you, why it's not allowing you to log in to your modem.
Sure.
Hi there. Thanks so much for holding once again. I really appreciate it. So I did just test the modem, and I do apologize. Even though the 6580 was compatible with like our Brighthouse legacy service, it's not compatible with Spectrum, and that's why it's causing you some issues right now.
It is compatible with Spectrum. We're looking at Time Warner Cable's compatibility list right now. And I've confirmed with the 2 senior technicians that the SGB 6580 is a DOCSIS 3 modem that is 110% compatible. So I haven't...
No, it is a DOCSIS 3, but not for Spectrum, according to all of our tools here anyway, in the tests we just ran.
Okay, this is the problem. The modem is working absolutely fine for internet. The only problem that I'm having with the modem is the fact that you guys are disabling my Wi-Fi. There is not a problem with the connection to the modem. Thus, this is a problem with your protocol going off and disabling my Wi-Fi. This has nothing to do with compatibility.
Okay, well, I do apologize. We don't actually send out anything to block your Wi-Fi.
You have to. I literally talked to a senior technician that said the exact same thing. They say that if you're under the 100 gigabyte plan, it's going to automatically try to do that. So this is 100% proven that you guys do this. And for you guys to actually even go off and equip a modem to your network, you have to download files to it. So there's no way that you wouldn't be able to do that. You can turn off a modem, you can re-access the modem, you can change my wireless access key. Of course you can turn off and disable my Wi-Fi. The fact that you're able to disable my Wi-Fi proves that it is a compatible system. Because if it wasn't compatible, you wouldn't be able to actually access it. I wouldn't be able to get online. If it wasn't compatible, you wouldn't be able to disable my Wi-Fi. The reason why we're having this issue is because it's compatible, and your network is going off and disabling it because it thinks that it's a Spectrum modem, and it thinks that it's not a customer-owned modem. That is the problem. So I understand if you don't know this, but I need to get in contact with a senior technician because the last one I contacted with tried his thing and it failed. So he said to call back and get someone. So that's what I'm doing right now. Like, I understand that you might not be an expert at this, but I know 110% this is a compatible modem. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, well, and I apologize. I can only go by what my tools and my supervisors are telling me. So I apologize for the conflict of information. At this point, what would you like me to do for you?
Connect me to a senior technician, or connect me at least to the technical department. Because there's...
Well,
I understand.
at this time of night, we're the only department that is open.
When does the technical department get on open up at?
At 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Alright, I guess I'll have to call back. This is a huge inconvenience. Alright, so as you can see from the previous clip, I ended up getting someone who had absolutely no idea what she was talking about. Obviously, she wasn't a technician, and the very first lines that I said was, "Please connect me to the technical department." And I should have basically emphasized on that more because she tried to basically go off and fix the problem, and I was on hold for 15 minutes for her to tell me, "Oh, yeah, modem's not compatible," when I have an image right here that's showing me that it's compatible with Spectrum bundles. And if you guys can't go off and turn off the Wi-Fi on modems, then how are you supposed to do it to your own modems? All they're doing is uploading a boot file, and with that boot file, they can edit anything they want. So, as the previous technician stated, that was a level 3 technician, he went off and said, yeah, whenever you're going off and putting the boot file on there, it's automatically coded if you're not going off and paying for the Wi-Fi to disable it. So, he said it himself, and that's essentially what everyone's trying to not say because they don't want to get fired from their job. And it's pretty bullshit. So we have this level 3 technician, the next one I call during the next day, and he's a little more adamant. He went off and went through this entire whole spiel of, oh, how we can't do this and how we couldn't do this. And I was just like, then how are you doing this to your own modems? And he's like, oh no, we can change the stuff on our own modems. Like, so you can't change the boot file. The boot file doesn't have anything to do with the Wi-Fi. Then how are you able to do that all over the phone? Because all you're doing is uploading a boot file. And they got real quiet. I was like, oh, yeah. So here's the guy right here. And
you may not get a connection. Are you still with me? Yeah. Okay. This ensures that we flushed out all the TCP buffers in the drivers, that we flushed everything out. And if you're technically comfortable enough, I would highly recommend, especially if this is a custom-built PC, look at the Ethernet chipset. If it's Broadcom or something like that, look at the driver that you're running. Look at the preferences or details on the Windows driver that you're using, and set the buffer sizes down to something small. I mean, the bigger they are, the slower it's going to run after a while. It'll just slow down to molasses. So you want to keep your TCP buffer sizes low. Now, and TCP buffer bloat is a known problem, and if you Google it, you'll see that everybody's trying to figure out what to do with it. And the only thing we can do with it now is to make sure the buffer size is set small. Okay. Now, other than that, aside from a bad Cat5 cable, I'm not sure what else this could be, but our current team leader is one of the best that we have. So he's going to attempt to close the equipment out and reload it from scratch. All right? And so you may see it go on and off line here. And you may see it reset. So you may or may not have a connection right now, okay?
so a level 3 Spectrum technician explained to us TCP buffering and told us that our Cat5 cable might be bad. For those that don't know what a Cat5 cable is, it's a damn Ethernet cable. Okay, first off, there's no problem with my connection, right? My download speed and upload speed is correct. So TCP buffering has literally nothing to do with my Wi-Fi being disabled. All right? So, the Ethernet cable. The Ethernet cable has nothing to do with wireless. Like, the entire point of wireless is to get rid of Ethernet cables, so you don't have to use it. If an Ethernet cable had anything to do with the wireless problem, then, like, oh my gosh, I don't understand these technicians. Are the level 3 certificates given out if you can pass, like, a multiple choice test? Like, why would you even start? Like, how stupid do you have to be? Like, if you're gonna bullshit, at least bullshit correctly. Don't say it's the Ethernet cable. Say it's the damn coax cable. The thing that actually sends the signal. Then at least you could then bullshit. And then I have to be like, well, it's sending the connection fine, so obviously that's not the issue. Why would you even say the Ethernet cable? It makes no sense whatsoever. So at the end, as you heard, he has his head honcho, top-of-the-line guy going off and rewriting, I guess, the boot script or the boot code for my modem. Okay? Great. So guess what happens, right? He goes and does that, and whoop-de-doo! Amazingly, I can format my modem, I can factory reset it, and the wireless actually allows me to enable and disable. Before, when I factory resetted my modem, I wasn't able to enable wireless. I went off and tried that multiple times throughout the entire process, and nothing worked. So when they changed the boot file, guess what happened? I was able to go off, factory reset my modem, and turn on the wireless. Imagine that! Just imagine. So, guess what happens? 12 hours later, my wireless function is down. And I'm like, what the hell happened? Guess what? Brighthouse/Spectrum/Time Warner Cable sent me an update, and with that update, it goes off and disables all my wireless functions. Yippee hooray! So, if Brighthouse/Spectrum is still trying to say that it's not their service that is turning off the Wi-Fi, then explain how is my wireless network working, and then 12 hours later, just stops working. So bullshit. So, I'm going to be showing you guys right here that, as you can see right here, type in the name for YouTube. Just, there he goes for YouTube 1. But just for YouTube, I'm going to show you guys that it is live. Hello. You can see me. Whoop-a-la. Okay? And I'm going to come back once Spectrum has done their update, which will most likely be within like an hour or two because it's almost hitting midnight. And we're going to see if they go off and change it. Stay tuned. Alright, we are back and time to see if they have disabled it. We already know that they have. I'll just go and log in here. Oh, and just so no one says that this is all photoshopped. Boing. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. Believe I typed that in correctly. Yep, I did. So, wireless primary network. Imagine that. Just imagine that. Can I collect Wi-Fi or enable? No, I can't. No. It's grayed out, which means that you can't click it. Oh my gosh, imagine that. Clearly it's my modem. Clearly that's the problem. It's not the fact that Brighthouse has a boot file that's completely screwing everything up. No, it's clearly my modem, guys. So totally my modem. If I go to basic, status, security, restore to factory defaults. Okay. Primary network. Enabled! Oh my gosh! Just isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing that, like, I can go off and fix it like that, and then just seemingly out of nowhere, whenever Spectrum wants to update it, it disables it? Imagine that! The entire reason why I made this video is to show you guys how Time Warner Cable / Spectrum Internet were scamming people with their Wi-Fi charges. Essentially, they give you one or two lines. The first line is, the modem is not compatible. It's not compatible with our network, or it's not compatible with Spectrum. And they'll go off and bullshit all around that. And even knowing on their website, and on Time Warner Cable's, both Spectrum and Time Warner Cable's websites for compatibility lists, it shows the SGB 6580 on the list, and it's actually the preferred modem, as told by the level 3 tech. Okay?
I showed that this is on our recommended list, and this is a recommended device, the Motorola Surfboard SBG 6580.
Like, seriously, it doesn't get worse than that. Then, if that doesn't work, they'll say, oh, your modem's defective. There's something wrong with your modem. And because this is a customer-owned modem, there's nothing we can do. We can't even submit a support ticket for this modem because it's a customer-owned modem. So once you get it fixed, call us back, and then we'll try again later. That's one of the two lines that they're going to give you. Right? And it's really bullshit, and they try to get away with this. But let's step back and actually look at what we're actually dealing with, okay? Because this isn't just a technical problem. This is more of like a pyramid scheme scam. So, first things first, they used to charge $4 to rent one of these guys, right? $4 to rent a modem. I can understand that, and I can respect that. They don't charge $4 to rent any of these anymore. You get these free with internet service. Well, you don't get to keep them, but you just get to have them there while you're having the internet service. So it's like, okay, pretty cool, pretty awesome. But they charge for Wi-Fi now, right? So to have Wi-Fi on here, they do charge. Now, how is that any different? Well, one, they charge $5 instead of $4. But this means that every single signal that's going through that coax cable and through the boot files means that they're turning off your Wi-Fi on and on. So, what does this mean? This means that a majority of people are going to go off and they'll have these modems and they'll be like, I don't want to pay the Wi-Fi fee. So they'll go to Walmart, they'll pick up a brand new modem from Walmart for like $50, $60. Be like, okay, if I had the service for a year, pays off. Okay, they go and hook it up and they had the same problem that I have. The Wi-Fi function's disabled. And they'll be like, why is it disabled? Customer support will say, oh, your Wi-Fi modem's defective. It doesn't work. And they'll be like, oh, okay. Well, it says it's compatible right here. No, it's compatible for the old Brighthouse stuff. Not compatible with this. And they'll be like, okay. And then another person might tell them, oh, no. Your modem's defective. Return that thing to Walmart. Get your money back. And eventually they'll get to the point where they'll be like, well, I don't know what to do. So they'll just pay for the Wi-Fi on this. And that is more of a better pyramid scheme than charging people for modems. Because if you charge people for modems, they can easily fix that. But if they charge people for the Wi-Fi function, they can claim that they don't know what the problem is when they do know. They can claim that the Wi-Fi function is not getting disabled. When, if you actually listen to the Spectrum representative, I believe the girl said it. All they do is they put a boot file on your modem, right? Or on the modem, right? If that's all they do, then how do they turn on the Wi-Fi function on the modem if it's one of their own modems, right? When it's one of their own modems, the only thing that's different between their modem and my modem is the fact that they've authorized it and they put a special boot function on it. There's nothing, like, you can buy the same modems that Brighthouse, that Time Warner Cable, that everyone else uses. They're nothing special. They've just been coded differently. And the way that they have it is that they upload a special boot file to that, which tells them to turn on the Wi-Fi and to turn off the Wi-Fi. And they upload the same boot file that says to turn off the Wi-Fi on a customer-owned one, because guess what? The customer-owned one doesn't have the Wi-Fi function enabled because they didn't pay for the Wi-Fi function. As stated by the level 3 technical support specialist that we got in the very beginning, saying that, yeah, because Time Warner Cable goes off, or I should say because Spectrum Internet goes off and charges for that, the signal keeps on getting told that, oh yeah, this person has not enabled the Wi-Fi function, so keep it disabled. So that's the entire spiel. That's how they're scamming people, and it's really sad. This is 2017, and they're charging for Wi-Fi. I'd really like if they went back to their own motto of charging for this, because they're claiming that, oh, well, we're providing these for free, but we're charging for the internet or the Wi-Fi function, which literally everything runs on Wi-Fi now. So, it's just bullshit. It just really is bullshit. And you're going to ask me, how am I going to fix this issue? Essentially, I'm going to hook this modem right here back up. And I'm going to do what I could have done at the very beginning, but I wanted to see how far they would go with this and how far they would try to continue on this little scam. And I'm going to hook up my modem to the back of this one through an Ethernet cable, and then I'm going to have my modem just act as a router, and it's going to send a wireless signal out everywhere. And if they somehow figured out a way to disable that, then I'm going to fucking complain to no end, because that's absolute bullshit. But I highly doubt that's going to happen, because I should be able to still get a wireless or an internet signal to anything I plug into the Ethernet ports, and I'm like 99% sure that they won't try to screw with that, because if they did that, then I could probably bridge it with my computer. I will find a way. But I just feel bad that they're trying to scam people, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have someone who actually knows about this stuff. You're going to get like some dude that's like in his 20s or 30s, and it's like, all I know how to do is plug in an Ethernet port, and it's like, it should work. And to all the kids out there that have the same problem, it's just a scam, guys. It's just a scam. So please share this video as much as you can, and maybe with all the bad publicity they'll get, maybe with all the people that are going to be like, this guy's on point, and he makes sense, this is bullshit, maybe I should cancel my subscription, maybe they'll go off and change it back to where they're charging for this instead of fucking Wi-Fi. So, as always, thanks for watching, make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe, and peace out.